Girl, what you want? I'm trying to catch the tea with D.
I went to take them to school.
No. We gonna be late for science.
I can show you some science. Let me show you what science is. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and show you what the science people gonna need to teach y'all because girl.
Snack is in 2 minutes. Come on, Mama.
But
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't run across me before, hey, I go by Didi. And yes, y'all, I have another video for y'all today. Y'all peep, I've been being real consistent, real active. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying. My little announcements, y'all know what to do. Y'all subscribe to my second channel, Daily Dose of Didi. Y'all follow me on Twitch and y'all join the Discord. And y'all can also follow all my other social medias in the description and my business page, Bali Beauty. I'm working on some new things for that as well. So yes, y'all keep in touch, y'all keep in tune, and let's go ahead and get into the disclaimer for this video. Anything I say in this video I found online. I'm not trying to bash or slander anybody's name, and I'm using this video under YouTube's fair use guidelines. All right, y'all can see by the title that this video is going to be about a mother named Kiki. Now, Kiki is a little like, you know, she's nothing new. She's been around for maybe like 2 years. She first really started getting active like 2024, and that's when really people were talking about her. I remember coming across her lives and it was just a whole lot of stuff going on. Her kids was, yeah, it was like she was one of the kids. Like her and her older daughter kind of have a strange kind of relationship. They more like friends than they mother and daughter, and they was running through this hotel and acting real crazy. She was just acting real childish. I was like, oh yeah, I need to make a video on her. And I never did. I'm like, oh, I never made a video on Kiki. Let me do her real quick. So yes, y'all, she actually has been back active, so there are little new things to talk about. So all right, y'all, so let's start with the main character of this story, which is Kiki. So Kiki's real name is Kiara, and she's from California, more specifically the Upland area. So however it go, Kiki went through life or whatever, and according to Kiki, her mother is either homeless or she passed away, because comments have said that she's stated both of these things to be true. So one moment she says her mother is homeless, and next moment she says she passed away, and then there was another instance where she said she's going back to California to stay with her mother, which wouldn't make sense if she passed away. But yeah, y'all, either way it go, Kiki found herself having her first daughter, her oldest child, and then she has a set of twins, 2 daughters. So I'm not sure if they're by the same father or 2 different baby daddies, but it's not really too important to the story. Either way it goes, Kiki and her little family find their way in Georgia. I'm also not too sure whether she found her new man in California or Georgia, but I would have to assume she found him in Georgia because, you know, that's where they are now or whatever. But she meets a man named Antonio. So Kiki calls this man Tony, and she goes on to get pregnant by him, and she is pregnant with a boy, her son. Her son unfortunately does pass away, but she ends up pregnant again, this time with another set of twins, a girl and a boy. When Kiki gets pregnant with her second set of twins, this is when she starts to get active on social media, mainly TikTok. Kiki would start to post and go live around late 2023, early 2024. But once she had the birth of her twins, she claims that her surgeon left her open after the C-section and that she had to undergo another surgery after they left a sponge in her.
unit to go have surgery, and that's where I continue to have my surgeries. They put a wound back on me the first surgery. They just told me like, okay, you know, you're gonna have to heal. They didn't tell me a whole lot about it. 5 days later, they came back and said I needed another surgery. The reason for that surgery is because he said he left a sponge inside of me.
The burn unit said
Yeah,
that?
it got to the point to where my children had to get dropped off.
So while you were healing, your kids was there?
I was going through surgeries. My kids was in the hospital.
It sort of seemed to viewers like Kiki really kept this story or narrative going on because she was trying to start a lawsuit, and she even went on Tasha K to speak out about this, and you know, she would just constantly kind of bring it up. A lot of people were kind of clocking her in the comments like, this is fairly common, like, you know, they'll leave mothers open after C-sections and put you on a wound vac. So that's kind of what was happening. But Kiki was trying to make it seem like it was the surgeon's fault and trying to sue the hospital and things like that. A lot of people just felt like it was a money grab and kind of like a sob story to bring more eyes on her channel or whatever. Along with trying to share her story, she would also show the hotel room that her family lived in. And, she kind of explained the situation to TikTok, saying she was a homeless mother of 5. Kiki started to go live pretty much daily on TikTok, and she would be in her hotel room. She would be showing her kids, just kind of showing her living situation, and she would be collecting coin. She would be asking for money, asking for donations. She would speak on this hospital situation, what happened after her C-section and things like that. So, she started to kind of build a little audience that felt for her and would donate for her and her kids to get her out this homeless situation or whatever. But it is TikTok, so it would be those ones that come in like, yeah, this story seems cool or whatever. Like, I understand you're homeless and this, that, and the third, but why don't you work? So that would be a big question a lot of people ask, like, why don't you get a job? You can find childcare for your kids, get you a job on the side. They go to school. I know you have these twins or whatever, but, that would be the main question, like, get a job. So when Kiki was questioned on why she doesn't work, she would claim that she's disabled and unable to work. And, she would just always have an excuse. It's either she's disabled, she can't work, she can't find a job. When she starts to find a job, she'll claim she has an interview. And, she'll claim that she got the job and things like that, but we never see her at the job. And she'll even pretend to have a job. Y'all know them type of people, that type of situation. Like, she'll claim she got a job. We'll never see her at the job, and she's still begging. So at this point, Kiki was making hundreds of dollars daily just by begging, and she would just be acting overall really strange. Viewers would notice Kiki tended to act really childlike. She kind of acted like a sibling more than the mother, especially towards her oldest child, whose name is Emily. People peeped that she treated Emily more like a friend. It kind of seemed like she favored Emily over her other children and, just wanted to be her. Like, I don't know if y'all ever met a mama that wanted to be like the child. They're kind of living through that. That's how they kind of feel about Kiki and Emily. Like, she's kind of living through Emily. Emily will be seeming more kept up. She'll be seeming to have her hair done more or like professionally. And other kids got to have like kitchen styles and stuff like that. It was one of them type of situations. Kiki in general would just be acting really weird. Like, she would be up all night, acting real jittery, acting like she's under the influence of something, y'all, more than liquor. So people started to suspect that Kiki was doing something other than liquor, something other than weed. Like, this is the behavior of a stronger drug. It's giving rock. So while Kiki is on live cutting up, she'll be in her car outside the room or whatever. Her oldest child, Emily, would often be in charge of taking care of her younger siblings.
From your edges.
They fringes.
You see how her edges are thick? Look at mine. Look at it.
I gotta teach you how to
look at that one.
You got those squiggly.
Why that edge look like that?
She got those squiggly.
Girl, somebody need to can I borrow some of y'all edges? Cause girl, I need some edges.
Let me see. Let me go do your edges. Come
no,
on.
I'm asking them.
We finna go.
Can I borrow some of their edges? Cause I don't want your edges. Girl, your edges crunchy.
Mama, I found Mom, I found another.
Excuse me.
Mama, I found another edge control that we can use for our hair.
Okay, well, I need to get. Hold on, let me get some edges first, and then we can talk about the edge control. Cause I ain't got no edges to control. Look,
just go.
Enjoying me shaking my bone.
Yeah, well, you finna stop shaking your bones. I'm finna cut that out the clip.
Boy, you
on the game.
She gonna do my. You gonna
do their homies.
Is she gonna do my edges?
I be like, what make people like that? Like, that's crazy. It ain't nothing that
sweating. I don't never sweat. Get up in here, girl. Y'all got me. You sweating too? She's sweating. She hot. It's on. Turn the air on. Don't walk past the air without turning it on because I'm about to pass out.
What are you doing?
Girl, breathing.
What?
What is you talking about? What am I doing? What are you doing? Excuse me. I'm gonna pass out. Do that. Move.
And the more the viewers began to watch Kiki, it was clear that these kids are not going to school every day and they really missed a lot of school, y'all. To the point where there's several clips that you can hear her kids in the back asking her to go to school, you know, really begging her to take them to school.
My bad, Zaddy. I had to get that in before I went to take them to school.
No. We gonna be late for science.
I can show you some science. Let me show you what science is. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and show you what the science people are going to need to teach y'all. Because girl.
Snack is in 2 minutes. Come on, Mama.
What?
Mom, you taking... Mom.
Huh?
You need to stop.
I can't see.
Mom. And Zizi, you hyped her up, so now she gonna keep doing that. No, stop. Nice Haley all over you. Nice knees, Haley over you.
And people started to notice that as much money as Kiki was collecting from her supporters, her cash apps, her gifts, her donations, she seemed to come right back on live every day with another story of why she needed the money. And, you know, like one day she'll ask for money for food. She'll pop up the next day, ask for money for this and that and the third. But we never see where the money is going. So viewers started to kind of put two to it together like, yeah, it's given that you're taking this money and you're going to buy drugs. You're going to sit in the car and get high while the kid's inside. And it's given one of them type of situations. You know, people started to catch on real quick.
I haven't even been on here asking nobody for nothing. The only thing I asked for was y'all to feed my babies the other night. Simply because I didn't really feel like cooking. We didn't have nothing really. Well, I have stuff to take out. It's stuff froze. But I wasn't finna take nothing out late. So, yes, I did, you know, ask and was like, can y'all send something for my kids to get some food? Yes. What's the problem? I ain't been on here like that. And then when I got on this live, I didn't ask for nobody to send no donation.
And during this time, Kiki was really holding on to that I'm a single mother thing. Like, I'm in this hotel room with 5 kids. I'm taking care of them by myself. And that's what really helped her get a lot of money. Because, you know, all these single mothers are empathizing with her. Like, I can't imagine taking care of 5 kids, 2 newborns in a hotel room. Like, yeah, I'm going to give you some corn. Like, people have a heart. People were really upset when the baby daddy, Tony, ended up coming around. You know, he's starting to pop up in the lives a little bit. And it's like, you know, you're claiming to be this single mother so hard, but he's around too much of the time. It's given that he's staying with you. So it did eventually come out that Antonio was living in that hotel room the whole time. The whole time that Kiki was acting like she's staying here by herself, she's handling everything herself, Tony would be at work. So Tony had a job and he stayed at the hotel room with her and the kids as well. But Kiki was making it seem like she's staying here by herself. She's handling everything herself. So, you know, that kind of rubbed a lot of her supporters and viewers the wrong way, that they were basically donating to her on the sole fact that she's doing this on her own. You know, she's telling the live that she's doing this by herself, and she's really laying up with this man this whole time, and he has a job. So it's like, you know, a little more honesty would have been nice. So once everybody started kind of finding out that Tony still stayed there or whatever, Kiki started to come up with this narrative that she found Tony with a man. So she started to claim that Tony was DL. If you don't know what DL is, it's basically a man that acts like he's straight, keeps him a girlfriend or whatever, but he actually likes men. You know, he deals with men on the side and he keeps him a girlfriend or whatever. So Kiki started claiming that Tony was DL. You know, she was making little story times and stuff about this, and she claimed that she put him out for this.
Hey y'all. So y'all, I want to talk to y'all because I really need some advice. And I'm coming to y'all as a woman who has kids by a man, 2 kids, my second set of twins, by a man who is not coming out the closet. And I feel like he's fighting demons. And there's nothing I can really do about it. I had kids by this man. And I feel like I'm stuck. And I think it's because I had kids by him. And you know, you just don't want to do it alone. Like, who does?
So Kiki's claiming that she never knew that Tony liked them men or whatever. Like, this totally took her by surprise. And a lot of her viewers were really thinking like, girl, you knew. If your man likes men, you knew. Like, they was thinking that Kiki knew this the whole time. But she was kind of just still holding on to this relationship with Tony. And she just thought she would make this little story time, just trying to get some cash apps, some donations. It's a new sob story for her or whatever. That's how a lot of the viewers are feeling. I'm not saying this for myself, but you know, that's what I was reading up on. They was feeling like, girl, you knew he was like that. If he really is like that, you already knew he was like that. And you're trying to kind of out him to get some donations, to get the women that maybe this has happened to them before in the past. You're trying to get some donations up out of them. So that's really what the comments was feeling about that situation. But yeah, either way it go, Kiki claims that this is the situation that caused her to put him out the room or whatever. She was no longer dealing with him, this, that, and the third. So yes, y'all, Kiki claims that she's not dealing with Tony no more. And right after this, her and her kids actually end up getting put out of that extended stay. So she claims it's because she had a dog in the room and you know, they was kicking her out because of that. So however it go, you know, this is another sob story. This is another moment for her to get donations. So of course she gets the money raised up to go to another room. So yeah, y'all, they get the new room or whatever. She's with the 2 sets of twins, the younger twins that she just had, the 2 daughters and her older daughter or whatever. So this is when viewers really start noticing how small and how malnourished her newborn babies really look. They noticed that they was just looking really skinny, really underfed. You know, they was looking a little underweight, y'all. And they started to notice that Kiki would only use 1 scoop of formula when she was feeding them. And the bottles looked dirty too.
So I got some groceries. Thank you guys. My babies got their milk and they got their Huggies. And I got the kids some dinner for a few nights. Thank y'all so much. Everybody, to all my supporters, the people that really support me, the people that really know my journey and where I'm trying to head. I love y'all, and my kids are thankful. Look at Papa Boy. Hi, Papa Man. Say hi. Say thank you. They waiting on their bottles, okay? Period. Sorry, y'all got. Anyway, we love y'all.
So at this point, a lot of people were catching on to Kiki's ways. You know, they're peeping that she be high a lot of the time, whether it's off weed, whether it's off something else. She be high, she be in the car away from the kids. She just be acting real crazy, real erratic. The kids don't be in school. The kids just don't, you know, things aren't right. You know, where is this money going that all these people are donating to you or whatever? So, you know, Kiki's starting to peep that she has a lot of haters or whatever. So, you know, she's starting to tell more and more about her past. So she started to admit that, yes, she has dealings with CPS, because y'all know how the comments get down. They was threatening to call CPS. They was trying to find out, you know, what room is she in, what's her real name, that like, y'all know we don't play about kids. Like, the comments do not play about kids. So they was really trying to figure out what's really going on. So she came to live and was telling them like her business. She was saying like, you know, I've had CPS cases in the past or whatever. They're closed and this, that, and the third. So she has that with CPS. CPS is nothing new.
Yeah, so y'all, my case is closed with CPS. So I don't know what people are talking about. I have a few things to do, and that's about it. But other than that, the case is closed. And please tell me, how do y'all figure y'all gonna get other people to stop sending me money? Over 40 people have called CPS on me, bruh. And nobody was able to get my kids taken, and nobody ain't gonna be able to get my kids taken. Ever. Best mama on TikTok, what is you talking about? What?
And they was also noticing that these rooms and stuff was just really nasty, you know, bugs and roaches everywhere. It just wasn't up to par. You know, she has 2 newborn children in the house, and it's mold all in the rooms, all in the bathrooms. It's just a bad situation all around, y'all.
Yeah, the thing must have went into the milk, and I scooped him up, and he went right into that bottle. And guess what? He was swimming. That roach was still swimming. That's how I knew the roach had just crawled up in there.
You threw the bottle away?
Girl, did I? I threw that bottle so far. It's
11:11, y'all. Share the live.
So yes, y'all, she eventually ended up getting put out of that extended stay room as well. And allegedly, Kiki was friends with a man that was on the registered sex offender list, y'all. And allegedly, he was the one to help her and the kids move out of the room. Now, Kiki did make some videos addressing this or whatever, and a lot of people say that her daughter confirmed it, but Kiki made her lie about it.
Emily, did David move us?
Yes. Like he helped us move the stuff in our room.
No, I'm talking about here. David. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about Randy. Randy is who moved us. David. Did David help us move, not Randy?
No, Randy didn't help us.
Girl, are you listening? You ain't even paying attention to me.
Oh.
I asked you. I just said, did David help us move? Yeah, and see, that's the thing. The girl was a year younger than him. So, I mean, what is the problem? What he is. Because he admitted it. Do y'all not get that? That he admitted it to me because I'm the one who found it?
Stop looking at me like that.
Like, yeah, David has done nothing wrong at all.
You ate that whole
Yeah, Tracy. So at the end of the day, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but David always going to be a part of my platform. Y'all just going to have to get over it. How about that? How about that? How about that? How about you run and tell that?
So either way that go, they end up moving to yet another hotel where Kiki continues to lay in bed and beg all day. And, you know, she would collect the money and never use it for what she said it was for. Like, for example, the kids had a field trip and she raised money so that they could go, but she never paid for it and they didn't even get to go.
My teacher came over here and said I couldn't go. So I put my head down and cried.
It's okay, Hannah. It's all right. That ain't my fault. It's not my fault. Because I definitely had to plan to come up there after 9. Like I said, we was getting ready to leave.
They put me in the
9:30. She said, the lady in the office said, oh, they're not leaving until 9:30. I said, when somebody was going to tell me that?
Miss Jones said that they're leaving at 9:30.
Your teacher did not tell me that.
No, that ain't my teacher. Miss Jones is another teacher.
Your teacher called me.
I know.
And said, we're leaving in 10 minutes. That's why I did not go to the bank, because I felt like I didn't have time. I said, well, let me go get my kids. If that was the case, I would have been at the bank. And y'all could have got y'all money and got on that bus.
And overall, it would just be like some little disturbing little live streams and stuff. Like, you know, she would be battling with men and holding the baby. And they would just be saying really inappropriate sexual things. Like, it just seemed like she just didn't really know when to stop, when it was too much. She would put her kids in some really inappropriate situations.
Christiana, where you go, Christiana? Where?
They say tickle me bomb.
बहन तो कुछ रिश्तेदार ही ताकि नहीं चोरी तो मोटानी और सारे रिश्तेदार
Not slow.
I won't lick your pussy.
Oh, Poppy on her. Got it, had all this kitty on her.
Then one day she was on live, you know, kind of just rambling and then running her mouth, saying too much. And she kind of accidentally told on herself for getting vouchers. So she basically been collecting rent money and the hotel rooms would be paid for. And she would say that she needs room money or whatever. And she really didn't need it.
I know about that. You get free lunch. You supposed to get free lunch. Okay, well, I can go up there and do the application. They should have gave me that when we started you in school. Yeah, you got to apply for the free lunches. Yep, I am. I'm going to do the application today. So by the time she get back to school on Monday, she'll be able to have free lunch. Forget that. And we on a little homeless thing, so it don't even matter.
Okay, so remember that I said the hotel rooms got roaches and mold and stuff. And, you know, keep in mind they got pets. They got dogs and, you know, pee pads, shit pads all everywhere. So her youngest daughter, the newborn baby, ends up getting sick, y'all. And this is when Tony comes back around. So Tony and Kiki end up taking her daughter to the hospital. And allegedly, Kiki left her daughter there by herself for over 3 days. So her and Tony took the baby to the hospital, basically dropped the baby off, left. Both of them left. Nobody stayed up there with the child. And the baby was up there by herself for 3 days, y'all.
Here, they gonna help you, okay?
Y'all, it's barely 2. Like, I should have came up here a little bit later, but I'm glad that I came up here when I did. Girl. Or I can come back up here. But I'll have her daddy come back up here for her. So if I do leave a little bit early, I'll make sure she's down for a nap and then her daddy can take over tonight.
I don't know what they expect us to be up in this doggone room all day.
Me and Judy do see the go.
Y'all going to leave?
Mama, can you give us my phone and
Is y'all, tell me if you're listening.
Pops had that all up in his mouth and you got them playing with that.
Who got them playing with what?
The baby, that little toy.
So take it out. What are you talking about? I got them playing with that. They got a whole lot of other toys. Who put it in there?
I did it.
So you didn't just put that back in there? Did you? Why you ain't saying nothing? You was just talking all that smack. Did you not just put it back in there? Answer my question. I asked you a question. I asked you a question. Yeah, okay. So stop playing with me and put it down on the floor. The heck are you talking about? When you put it back in that doggone thing. If that was the case, you should have threw it on the floor if you knew he was playing with it. The heck you talking about? Now, they got a whole lot of other stuff they can play with. Good morning.
So yes, y'all, they were saying Kiki didn't leave the baby no clothes or nothing. The nurse had to find clothes for the baby. You know, she's bringing the baby clothes out her own budget, basically, because Kiki did not leave the baby no clothes. And it was just a mess, y'all. People was really on her about this. And when Kiki finally did go see her, she was on live the whole time. You could tell she really could not be bothered to see her. She was not bothered to be there. She was ready to go. She was really impatient. You know, you could just tell that's the last place she wanted to be, y'all. So yes, y'all, when the baby got back home from the hospital, the same behavior went on. She would come on live, clearly high, acting strange, or she would be in a really bad mood, probably fiending and, you know, begging. The kids would be continuing to ask about going to school, and it seemed like Kiki took a break from going on live for a little bit. She would still go live, but her viewers definitely died down, and she started to become cool with another person that I talked about on my channel, Zimnik. So her and Zim are very similar, so it's not a surprise that them two get along. You know, they both have baby daddies that let them beg online, and they still continue to get pregnant despite already begging for the essentials. So yes, y'all, she gets cool with Zim or whatever. They kind of just be in each other's lives and stuff like that. But Kiki didn't really just have the viewers that she used to have, if that makes sense. So it does make sense. She kind of attached herself to another known beggar. Then Kiki announced that she was pregnant once again with her 7th child, but this will be her 6th living child.
I think I'm playing. No. You don't see this line. You don't see this faint line. Y'all do not see it. When you're really early, babe, I promise you. On my mama, it's a faint line. Emily! Come here. Watch this. Haley, come here. I am not lying. Can you see that other line? Let me see. Bro, can you see that other line?
Oh my God, I'm leaving.
Y'all think I'm playing?
Did you open your legs again? I'm tired of this.
been pregnant with a faint line like this. I promise you. You just have, look, you literally, I am. No, I'm serious as hell. Look at that line. Hannah, tell me 2 lines. Don't you see 2 lines?
I see 2 lines. I say I see 2 lines.
Y'all don't see that faint line, bro. Look.
Mama's
I see it.
I don't need no more siblings.
Yeah,
Bro.
I'm going to IOP house.
I'm leaving. Let's pop our phone. I'm not doing it.
And immediately she started to plan the gender reveal. You know, she already has a baby registry posted, and she's already admitted that, yeah, as soon as this baby come out, like, I'm back begging. So Kiki is back on her stuff, y'all. She will be begging when she dropped this baby. She's just letting y'all know.
This,
I'm
who y'all
begging
support?
as soon as the baby get here.
Make it make sense?
As soon as they say the baby has arrived, here I come. Do not play with me. The hell? Talking about you gonna be begging. Show is, I'm gonna beg before the baby born. Do not play with me.
And she also announced that she got an apartment. So she's claiming that she has an apartment now. This is where her, Tony, and all the kids currently live right now. And she's due in late May. So we're definitely going to have to start keeping up with Kiki and seeing if she gonna be back on this same stuff, y'all. So yes, y'all, that's what I have for today's video. Let me know what y'all think about Kiki. Let me know if y'all enjoyed this video. Let me know who I should talk about next. And I'll catch y'all in my next one. Bye. Love y'all.
My bad, girl. I just finished the video. Girl, D had some tea today. Let me